Hey everyone, and welcome to our channel. So glad you could join us. I hope you're ready to get your hands dirty because today we're diving into the best tips for planning your awesome garden in 2025. Whether you're a gardening expert or just starting out, these tips will help you make a garden that's both beautiful and good for the planet. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's get started. Okay, before we grab our tools, we need a plan. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a simple drawing of your garden and what you want it to look like. Think about the space you have. Is it a small patio or a big yard? Do you want tons of colorful flowers? A peaceful place with a little fountain, or maybe a veggie garden full of yummy fruits and vegetables? Write down your ideas, let your imagination run wild, and don't be afraid to get creative. This is your chance to dream big. Imagine yourself walking into your perfect garden. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? Let your senses guide you as you draw. You might surprise yourself with what you create. All right, now that you have a plan, let's talk plants. The most important thing is to choose plants that will grow well in your area. It's no use wanting a sunflower if your garden is shady. Do some research about what plants like your local weather and soil. Talk to your local garden center, read some gardening books, or look online. And don't be afraid to try new things. Gardening is all about trying and learning. You might find a surprise plant that loves your garden. Now, a garden that looks great in spring but not in summer is like a cake without frosting. We want a garden that looks good all year round. The trick is to choose plants that bloom at different times. Think early spring flowers like snowdrops and crocuses, then tulips and daffodils. When it gets warmer, you can have roses and lavender. And don't forget about the fall. Plants like sedum, asters, and Japanese maples will give you beautiful colors before winter. By choosing your plants carefully, your garden will always have something pretty to look at, no matter the season. Chapter 4. Sustainable gardening. Now, it's super important to be kind to the environment when we garden, so let's go green. One easy way is to use organic methods. Skip the chemical sprays and fertilizers and use compost instead. It's amazing how much compost helps your plants. And while we're at it, think about making your garden a home for wildlife. Plant flowers that bees and butterflies like. Put up a bird feeder and maybe even make a small pond if you have room. It's good for the planet and it's fun to see animals in your garden. Chapter 5. Making the most of your space. Even if you have a small garden, don't worry. We can still make it look full by gardening vertically. That means growing up instead of out. Trellises are great for climbing plants like clematis, honeysuckle, or even beans and peas if you like to grow your own food. And don't forget about hanging baskets. They're perfect for adding color. Plant some pretty flowers or even strawberries in them. If you're really short on space, wall planters are another good choice. You can grow herbs, lettuce, or even strawberries in them. Chapter 6. The Art of Companion Planting. Companion planting is like finding the perfect plant partners. The idea is to plant things that help each other grow strong and healthy. For example, planting basil next to tomatoes helps keep away bugs, and marigolds keep away other pests in the soil. It's all about knowing how plants work together and using that to your advantage. Plus, it's a natural way to help your garden grow. You know what they say, you get what you pay for. And that's definitely true for gardening. Good soil and compost are super important for healthy plants. Don't use cheap stuff. Think of it as giving your garden vitamins. Good soil gives your plants the food they need, and good compost helps the soil hold water. If you don't know what kind of soil you have, it's a good idea to get it tested. That way you can make sure it's just right for your plants. Chapter 8. Water wisely. Water is important for our gardens, but we need to save it too. So let's talk about saving water. Drip irrigation is a good way to do this. It gives water right to the plant's roots, so less water evaporates. Another great idea is to use a rain barrel. It collects rainwater from your roof, which you can then use for your garden. And lastly, try planting drought-tolerant plants. These tough plants don't need much water. Chapter 9. Welcoming wildlife. A garden without bees, butterflies, and birds just isn't as fun. Making your garden friendly to wildlife is good for the environment and makes your garden more lively. Plant flowers that bees and butterflies like, such as lavender, buddlejas and honeysuckle. Give them water with a bird bath or a small pond, and leave a little part of your garden to grow wild. This gives animals like hedgehogs and ladybugs a place to live. Chapter 10. The importance of maintenance. Making a beautiful garden takes work, and once it's growing, we can't just forget about it. Regular care is important to keep your garden looking its best. This means pulling weeds because they can take over quickly. Pruning or trimming your plants helps them grow strong and look good. And don't forget to give your plants food regularly. Compost or organic fertilizer will keep them healthy and happy. Remember, gardening takes effort, but it's worth it. Outro happy gardening. So there you have it, my top 10 tips for planning your perfect garden in 2025. I hope you found some good ideas. Remember, gardening is all about trying things out, getting your hands dirty, and enjoying what you grow. You might even discover you love gardening. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with your own gardening tips, and subscribe to our channel for more gardening fun. Happy gardening, everyone.